Hey there guys, what's going on? Hazard12 here, and today I'm really excited to share with you my 4-2-3-1. It's obviously one of the strongest formations in the game, and obviously a lot of people use it, so I thought I'd do my version of it. It's pretty basic, but trust me, it's very effective. So I'm just going to jump straight on into it. It's in my defensive little slot bit, but don't take too much notice of that. I just put the tactics wherever they end up because I'm always trying new things. But yeah, this was just in defensive. So in defensive style, it's going to be balanced. I do like pressure on heavy touch. If I'm trying to, chase the game, if I need a goal later on or something, I do switch to that. But to start with, I always start with balance because I just feel like it's the best way to feel your opponent out and it doesn't drag your players too far out of position. Width, defensive width, I pushed it up a little bit higher than what I usually go for, but I find it to be working really well. I used to be able to keep this, towards the 50, maybe 45 mark, but I've started playing around with it and I found that higher width could be really quite good. Obviously, you got to find that right balance because you don't want your players too far apart from each other. But 65 defensive width is pretty good for me. Depth, I've dropped it down to 40. I don't want that too low, but you'll find that it doesn't feel too low, if that makes sense. There is some gameplay coming up and I'll talk through it because we do win the ball back quite a lot with our centre backs and CDMs, and we are on the counter attack straight away, so you'll see it in motion a little bit later on. But I found that having a high depth, as much as I enjoy using it, we were getting caught out quite a lot. So I dropped that down a little bit. I found I was a lot more defensively solid, but obviously not too low to the point where we were just letting our opponent camp in our half. Build up play, keep it unbalanced. I do like slow build up, and I do like balanced. You can pick and choose really. The last tactic that I did on YouTube a few weeks ago, I did use slow build up with possession, and it was awesome. It worked really well. I've just gone with balance this time, just because. But if you want to try slow build up with it, then feel free. I think both of them work really well, especially with a formation where you've got 4 people up front. You've got your 3 attacking mids and your strikers. So I think slow build up can work. I've just gone with balance this time. Chance creation, I've fallen again on possession. I've really enjoyed it in the last tactic, like I said, using possession. I thought it was really strong, especially when you're better than your opponent, but at the same time it works really well when your opponent's pressuring you. If they've got pressure after possession loss and you've got possession on, you've 1 or 2 passes and all of his players are out of position and you can just break and score a counter-attacking goal. So I think possession's the strongest one to use so far at the moment this year. I do like balance as well, but I'm going with possession for this one. Width, again, I've pushed that up to 70. Now, obviously, I was talking about the width of the defensive style being good, being higher, and again, it's the same with the offensive play. I would be inclined, to drop this a little bit because you do find your players are obviously very wide naturally, so it might be worth, if you don't like that kind of thing, just dropping it down to 60 odd and you'll be just fine. But I think 70 works perfectly well for me for getting down the line and then doing some pullbacks for any, attacking midfielders or strikers that are in the box. Speaking of which, I just leave that on 5 because I, on the playing instructions, tell the players I want to get in the box to get in the box rather than overloading it and getting up to 9 and 10. And then, as you can see from the little graphic there, you'll have no one in the midfield to try and stop a counter attack. So I just leave that on 5 on the default settings. And then on corners, for some reason that's on 3, it should be on 2, and free kicks are on 1 because I always say there's no point of having them higher than that because you'll just get counted. So there's the formation of 4-2-3-1, the players that I play there. So the instructions themselves, we've got Banza, the striker, just on getting behind and nothing else. We don't need him drifting out wide, we've got players out wide. So pretty simple instructions on him. Like I said, it is a pretty basic tactic that works really well. The cam, we've just got to get in the box for the cross. Like we said, we're going to tell the players that we want in the box to be there, so we don't need to do the whole plays in the box thing. We want him arriving in the box and putting the ball in the goal. Puskas is stay forward and get in the box for cross. That's my right attacking mid. We don't need him tracking back. We've got 2 CDMs. We don't want him tracking back. We want him there ready to strike and go as forward with the ball on a counter attack. The exact same instructions for the left attacking mid. Stay forward and get in the box for cross. On my left CDM, now I always have my left CDM is the more defensive one. I don't know why. It's just what I've fallen on for some reason. But yeah, my left CDM could be alright, whatever, it makes no difference. It's cut passing lanes, it's stay back while attacking, cover centre, and stick to position. Pretty standard, pretty much what everyone uses on the CDMs. Apart from on my other CDM, I've got get forward and cover centre. So I want him supporting the attack, and the thing is, because he's a CDM, obviously he starts his runs quite far back, and you'll find that he's quite good at picking the ball up on the edge of the box or just outside the edge of the box and recycling possession. So having someone who's quite strong, quite physical in that role was pretty good. Tyrak plays that role pretty well. So yeah, that's the CDMs. And then the two fullbacks, both the same, stay back while attacking. I just want to choose personally when they go forward. I don't trust the AI to do it for me. I do like the wing back supporting the attack, and I do get them to do that, but I just do that myself. I manually choose when they go forward, so I know what spaces I'm leaving in behind and who I've got going forward. But that's the tactic, guys. I'm going to jump into some gameplay and just show you a few goals. It's just a couple of games where in Rivals I've used the tactic, and you guys can just see a little bit of a mental image of how the game works and how the tactic works. So I will catch you over there. So then, guys, into the gameplay, and I'm just going to talk about a couple of things just so you guys can get a few little tips with the tactic itself. I think most people are pretty familiar with the way the 4-2-3-1 works. You want to just be trying to use your CDMs as often as possible, but of course making sure you switch it to your centre backs. Like I said, there'll be a few times like there where our centre backs are going to be the ones winning the ball back, and we're going to be the ones springing a counter attack. It's important to make sure that you try and balance the use between the pair of them, because you don't want to be, dragging your centre backs too far out of position. Your CDMs are obviously there to help, so make sure you're bringing them back, especially the one who's set as get forward. Make sure you're bringing your CDM back into position. It's all about trying to be as solid as possible. If you look at the setup we've got there, it's tackling with our centre back, with our CDMs are both in position, ready to help, and of course get the ball forward as quick as possibly you can. A lot of this gameplay that you'll see, a lot of the goals, a lot of it are counter-attacks, winning the ball back and getting the ball forward as fast as we can. It's really effective in that sense. That's what I like so much about the 4-2-3-1. It's very solid defensively, but at the same time it gives you a lot of options in attack. 4-2-3-1 is my old reliable. I've always loved using it. Always enjoyed it in every version of FIFA that there's been, that I've used it in. It's always been good for me. I've not used it so much this year because I'm trying to do different tactics that are a little bit different to what other people use. But I just thought I needed to do a video on the 4-2-3-1. So this is it. It's pretty basic, like I said. There isn't a lot of instructions. There's nothing crazy about it, but it works really well and it's really solid for me. So I think you guys will have a good time using it. I'm going to head to the end of the video now. I've got one more clip to show you guys. As it rolls through, I'm just going to say please do drop a like and subscribe. I've had a lot of support on the channel, a lot of views, a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate it. If you guys could continue that support, it would mean an awful lot to me. So just thank you from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did use it, leave a comment, let me know how you got on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.